Hey everybody, welcome to MD's Chicago Pro Preview featuring Giles Tiger Thomas and me, Ron Harris. Wow, Giles, we just had a huge show over in Alicante, Spain. That was the second qualify, and I think like about 30 people out of that show are going to the Olympia. And now, Chicago Pro, which is in Atlanta, Georgia, because, America's all the same place, as you know. Doesn't matter. Happening this Friday and Saturday. This is the last show to qualify. We've quibbled about this. Why not make British Grand Prix and Romania Pro? And who knows? That could change. Even now, I haven't heard anything about them changing the qualifications for Chicago Pro to say that maybe top three, but would I be surprised if that's announced? Maybe they won't even announce it till the day we're at the show. Bob Ciccarello might lay that bomb on everybody, drop that bomb. That'd be actually a pretty cool way to do it, don't you think?
Yeah, I think I just think it's completely fair, because if there's a European show which is kind of just as big as the Chicago Pro, and they were allowing top three to go through, then I think as this is the last qualifier in America and globally, I think absolutely should be top three in every category, because this lineups are huge, and there are still a lot of people, a lot of good names not qualified for the Olympia that I think we'd like to see. I would rather see this happen than a ton of special invites go out, or to see small lineups at the Olympia. I think, but so I think like you said, I wouldn't be shocked if they did make top three in every class qualify for the Olympia for 2020.
Well, everybody, be on the lookout for a live update from me on YouTube if that happens. I'll probably be like in an airport or something, in an airport bathroom when it happens. Who knows? So we got to get into this, because we got a lot. First, the two people I was really surprised are not doing Chicago Pro. Number one, Sergio Oliva Jr. Come on, Sergio.
I have knowledge on that. I heard on Global Muscle, if you watch this, will be out by the time you watch this. Right. Justin Rodriguez's coach AJ Sims said in that interview, if you go and watch it, he says, no, I think I've heard Sergio is not doing it. And I did see some pictures of Sergio, a readable bicep the other week, and for me he was behind. So is he angling for a special invite because he's prepping, but after this there is no other shows to prep for unless he's going to do Romania or the British Grand Prix to qualify for next year? It doesn't make sense. So I'm guessing he's looking for a special invite after his fifth place at the Arnold Classic.
Yeah, I would imagine, why not? He's fifth place at the Arnold is, for many years, top five at the Arnold, qualified for the Olympia anyway. It's not unheard of, not unprecedented. No, Sergio.
Why is he pulled out? Because his training partner, Eddie Bracamontes, is doing it. I don't understand why he's not done it.
I can't speak on it. My only guess would be that he missed a lot of training due to quarantine. He was stuck in Australia. I don't know. I'd have to ask him.
Yeah.
I'd have to get the answer. The other guy I'm surprised is Michael Lockett, because Michael Lockett won the show 3 years in a row. He owns this damn. Maybe it's because it's not actually in Chicago. I don't know. I'd have to ask him if I see him. But surprising, because he's always at this show. But let's get into it, guys. You just mentioned him. This is probably the favorite is Justin Rodriguez, because he was second to Ian Valliere at the New York Pro. I don't think there would have been a lot of arguments had he won in New York. He looked phenomenal. He sharpened up so much better for the finals. Just a tremendous physique on this guy. You just looked at the list. What do you think? Is that probably your front runner for this?
100%. Yeah. If you watch Global Muscle episode 12's gone out, like I said, it'll be out this week, day before this goes out. AJ, his coach, AJ Sims, his coach, said that Justin, apparently AJ said he didn't want him to do it, but Justin did it on a 4-week prep.
Wow.
4-week prep. And then since then, I mean, you saw how much he changed from the judging to the night show. So this is a guy that changes very, very fast. And he sent that, posted that picture on MD, which he sent me last week, and he was 261. Wow. And he's full to, he sent me another picture. It was like a blurry phone picture. But I said to him, I messaged him last night, AJ Sims, and I said, I've never seen his skin that thin. It was the most muscular. And you know what it looks like? The skin's been ripped off and painted with tan. It looked like, I said, I've never seen his skin this thin. So he's going to be in the absolute shape of his life. And the way how he looked at the New York Pro, here's a guy I've been wanting to see really flourish since he got 7th at the Arnold Classic in 2018. And he kind of wasn't really hitting the mark. So to see him look that good on a 4-week prep at the New York Pro where he could have won it, and many probably wouldn't have argued. To see him, I think he's going to be absolutely bang on for this one. He's living with he's flown to be with AJ Sims, his coach, to really be monitored closely. So I think we're going to see an all-time best Justin Rodriguez this year for this show, and I fully expect him to take the win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't believe he's ever won a pro show, so this could be the first one for him.
Yeah, big one.
But speaking of big, Akim Williams is in this show also. Now you change your mind. He's good. That's what we want. We want a lot of really good guys. We don't want a bunch of slumps and then just one guy to dominate. So Akim Williams, he says he's looking phenomenal. I believe him. And that's a guy he's been second place at so many shows these past few years. He's hungry for this win. With him, it's always condition. He says I said, what's your back looking like? Because I've seen everything else dry and tight. I said, but your back is always a little blurry to me, guy. He said it was a matter of development. It's the way he was training it, and he's training with his coach, Oscar Ardone. And he says we did an interview yesterday, he says you're going to be very, very pleasantly surprised at how much better my back looks. So let's see. Well,
Akim was like a guy like Steve Kuclo up until about a year and a half, 2 years ago, that was just like, he was coming in around about 260, 265, and he'd be full and round. You'd think, oh my God, when this guy drops 5-10 pounds for the next show, then in a few weeks, he's going to look sensational. And then I remember he did the Toronto Pro, and he dropped down to like 245, 250. And he got a little bit sharper, but he kind of lost that fullness and impressiveness. And I thought, oh, well, maybe he's one of these guys that will never really nail it. Then at the Olympia last year, he really started to nail it. He did it again at the Arnold Classic this year. He was 9th at Olympia last year. Was he 7th at the Arnold Classic this year?
Yeah, and he told me he was back up to like 265, 267, something like that. So he's got that combo that you just talked about that he needs, the fullness with the condition. So.
Well, I said to Oscar at the Arnold Classic at the competitors when we were doing I think we were doing the wrap-ups, and I went up to him and I said, you finally got that formula right. You're bringing him in big, full, shredded, detailed, because he's just like I really do see this coming down to Akim versus Justin. I think it's going to be incredible. I think it's really going to come down to I think Justin will be a little bit more detailed. But Akim's just got that crazy shoulder to waist, thing going on, and the full round. So I think it's going to be, it's like you said. I think it'll be come down to from the back. I think because Justin is very impressive from the back. Akim is huge from the back, but has he got that detail from the back that he'll need to beat Justin? So it all depends on those back shots.
But wait, there's more. Max Charles this morning was added to the list. Max Charles, who was just second at the Cal Pro to Antoine. I think he was 4th at New York Pro. Max he's desperate. He wants to win so badly. That's a man on a mission. He's fired up. Max could be up there with these guys for sure. He's definitely on that level.
100%. I mean, I honestly thought after the Olympia and all the post-Olympia shows last year, I thought that guy was on the slide. I thought he's going to start I just thought his physique was just starting to tumble, and then this year he kind of came back at the Arnold Classic, took 8th place, looked absolutely phenomenal. His conditioning was next level. And then obviously he's done the Cali Pro and the New York Pro. I think he did Tampa as well, didn't he? He did Tampa.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so he's been really nailing that condition now. But honestly, I think top 3, but I still think it's the Justin and Akim show. I really do. I think Max will fall down maybe in the back shots next to Justin and Akim, because those guys are just total freaks. Yeah. Whereas, but Max has got nice aesthetics for a big guy, very good condition. But for me, he still lacks a little bit in some of those back shots.
Yeah, if at New York Pro he wasn't. I can't tell the Cal Pro. I couldn't honestly tell from the webcast what kind of shape he was in, but he didn't look. The way he looked at the Arnold was the best I've ever seen him. And I know talking to him and Mishko, his prep was a little. He rushed the prep for this New York Pro. He's had time, so if he could bring that crazy condition, we'll see what happens. But if you are 25 years or younger, I'll tell you who you think is going to win the show and who you want to win the show. Nick Walker. Yes. Dude, every young guy is a fanatic for this. And of course, they want a young guy from America that they can relate to. And this kid is a freak. You had him on, I had him on, and he's very confident, and rightfully so. He's packed with muscle. He's the first real new mass monster with decent shape we've seen in quite a while. I think he's got a chance of winning. I don't know. I need to see him. These guys are seasoned professionals.
Yeah.
We've never seen him up there against pros. It's his pro debut, but I know you've never seen him up there with pros either. So it's hard to even speculate. But I think top 5. If he makes top 5, that's a tremendous achievement. Now, he wants to win, of course, but
yeah.
What do you think, Nick Walker?
I think he'll be first call out. I think his condition will be excellent. I think he'll be better than he was at the North Americans. The North Americans, he lacked a little bit. He got beautiful structure. I mean, his back, his riddle bicep, the way it comes in at the waist, got a nice small waist. When he lifts his arms up, his waist goes to nothing. Yeah. He's got, and I think he's. I just hope he's not over dieted, for being on prep so long. But from the photos I've seen, he looks really good. His skin looks really thin. I think like Hunter Labrada, I think the extra prep is going to make it a lot better and a lot more polished than he was at the North Americans. I kind of like seeing these guys jumping straight into it and feeling confident and going for it, because it's exciting. It brings a new excitement to the show. He's a new freak on the block, has freaky arms, and he brings a lot of excitement and he brings a lot of confidence. And I think he's pushing it, saying he's going to win it. But I think if he makes a top 5, that's as good as a win for someone who has just turned pro. So I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him definitely in the top 5. I think he'll be. I mean, maybe I'd like to see him next to Max Charles because I think he could. I think those two going at each other. I think that would be a good one. And if he beats Max, then he's really beat a good pro there who's really stepped up this year. So Nick, a very exciting prospect for the future. Great kid, great attitude. And he was almost so confident the other week. I found it difficult to interview him because he was being very like, I'm going to win. He didn't want to discuss it. It's like, I don't want to discuss it. I'm here just to tell you I'm going to win. I'm speaking it into existence. And I was like, okay, well, 10-minute interview then. Okay. Yeah. But kid, great attitude. And like I said, it's exciting to see new blood come to the pro ranks.
I guarantee you in the comments under this video, and guys, it's fine. I get it. Nick Walker for the win. Nick Walker for the win. You'll see a ton of it, and that's cool. I'm glad the fans are passionate. They should be. No, all fans should be like Big Rom. Big Rami's fans are the best. You guys need to learn from Big Rami's fans. You better.
Okay.
His fans they're just fanatics.
They think he should be president of the world.
Maybe. Another guy I expect to be in the top 5 or certainly have a good chance is On Win. Ooh. I have a hard time pronouncing it. I'm sorry, On. Your first name is An, but very strong. I think it was 3rd place at Cal Pro behind Antoine and Max. This is a guy that I've been watching for years. Always thought he had tremendous structure, mass, shape, just needed the condition, and he seems like he's finally figured that out. So, On Wing, I expect him to be battling all those names we just talked about.
I think he's awesome. Remember we were at the 2017 Tampa show and he was in the top 5, but he's one of those guys who's like, oh my God, when like Akim and Steve were then in that time, 2017, 2018, it was like, oh, is this going to be another guy that's just going to fall by the wayside because he cannot nail that conditioning? And then it was last year, I forget the show, and then he obviously at the Cali Pro, everything was detailed and he managed to keep the fullness and the structure, wide shoulders, small waist. I'm a big fan of An. I think he's fantastic. And I think he could be certainly. Yeah, I think he could be a contender for the top 5, 100%.
Yeah, Johnny Jackson. That retirement didn't last long. Johnny's back. He's in this show. Well, he's at the Arnold too. The Arnold, he wasn't in top form. We can say that, especially from the back. But he's had plenty of time now, and he'll pull it together. I hope Johnny shows up looking the way that I've seen him look, which is razor sharp head to toe.
Hasn't he won the Chicago Pro about 14 years ago?
Probably. I mean, I believe he has about 8 or 9 wins altogether. I bet he won the show at one point.
Yeah, I've got 2006 in my head. I've got that in my head for some reason. The Chicago Pro. I don't know why. I might be wrong.
No, it sounds right. I remember seeing the shows he's won. I think that was one of them. Josh Wade from California. Josh, very, very consistent. He's been looking for a show to do as the shows were getting postponed and canceled. And follow him on Instagram. Hardworking guy. Condition, he'll bring that condition. He's got the grainy look, as we like to say, which we don't see that often.
Muscle maturity. He's very good. I sometimes these guys. I like the fact that even if they don't get like a good placing or maybe 6th or 7th or something, which is a good placing, I just like that I look for consistency conditioning. because that means the guy's really suffering and really kind of putting the work in. So I've got a lot of respect for people like Josh Wade to be able to consistently bring the conditioning over and over again.
Another big freak, Sean Smith from Kentucky. He's one of the newer guys. He's competed a couple times. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, he was top 10 at Tampa last year. And I mean, I had him on one of my old shows about a couple of years ago now. And there's a guy, I mean, God, some of the photos and the videos I've been seeing on his Instagram, he's just got that, it's like Michael Lockett or Regan Grimes. There's something different about their muscle. It's something really, like his back is just, he creates like a shadow. He's a real, and it's just his shoulders. It's something, he looks like an alien almost. He doesn't look real.
It's like a round, bubbly look that you just don't see that often. He posts on his Instagram and the shoulders just look like somebody stuck two basketballs onto someone's clavicles. They're just that distinct.
Yeah. And do you know what I like about him? Because I tell you what, I did notice a lot. I'm going to talk about this in Global Muscle actually on Thursday for next step 13. Is some of the guys with the shiny shoulders. And that's really
I was a little disappointed. There was some of that in Spain. Yeah. So what, they all had it? No.
Or the renal bicep, the twisting back, so they may as well not hit those poses because it's just they've got one. Last thing I heard, there was 3 heads to the shoulders, not one. But this Sean, he's got that freaky, like the size that they're trying to do by sticking crap in their shoulders. But he's got the detail and the shreds because it's real. You know, it's real muscle. It's not. They're not trying to blow it out with crap.
Oil. Anyway, yeah, I don't like oil. Eddie Bracamontes, who we just mentioned from California. Another consistent guy. You know, for a couple of years there, I didn't know if he was ever going to really be a name. I thought he might be one of those guys that sort of just sits on the side of the stage, just because there's a lot of great pros. It's not easy to make an impact as a pro. They all won the USA or the Nationals or their whatever, but he's stepped up. He's leveled up. He's getting good placings these last couple seasons, and I could see him. I could see him somewhere around like 6th, 7th. You know, possibly. He's that good.
Yeah, totally agree. But I'm thinking of Eddie. I mean, he's a big guy. He's like 265, 270 on stage. He's tall, he's wide, he's carrying a lot of muscle in his legs and his back. And the thing is, at the end of the day, like you said, here's a guy who's actually improving. He's putting the work in, he's improving. And I've got huge respect for those guys that just keep pushing forward because you know that every single time they step on stage, they look better than they did in their previous contests. And that deserves respect.
Yeah. A new guy from Canada, Joe Seaman, who's been pretty consistent lately. Like I said, I saw him turn pro and then jump on stage like 5 minutes later and get 4th place at the Toronto Pro. Was it last year? Last year he did that. So Joe's going to be in this. Phil Clayhar from Florida, very big
Joe
guy. You froze on me there. Unfreeze yourself.
So Joe Seaman's in Global this week.
Oh, okay. Yep. So guys, you saw that probably yesterday. I think this is going to go up on Thursday. It's hard when we do these a couple days ahead of time. Like we didn't even know last time Rami was out of the show. But well, anyway.
How did you not know that Rami was not in the show? I'm like, God, come on, it was on the day before the news came out.
we spent like 10 minutes talking about Rami, and now he's not on the show. Oh well. Phil Clayhar from Florida, big man, top 4. I think he was 4th in Tampa, looking to get a good placing here. Chris DiDomenico. He was the overall NPC national champion a couple years ago. Big guy with good shape. Mohammed Shaban. We've seen him a couple times. And that's
won Portugal last year, Olympia last year.
That's right. He won the Portugal last year.
Yeah, he beat Valier and he beat Samson, a few other really good guys. Beat who else did he beat? I forget now. Yeah, but he beat some good names.
So 212, very, very exciting debut for Keon Pearson, the former Classic. He wasn't in Classic long. He outgrew it very quickly. Young guy. He's right there in Atlanta. Doesn't have to travel very far to get to the show. And man, I don't know if you've been following all his progress pictures, videos and stuff, but this kid is friggin' phenomenal. My goodness. Yeah. He looks like a little cartoon character.
Keon Pearson, man. I mean, there's a guy who's coming up fast. I mean, what he did from the Arnold Classic to the New York Pro when he won the New York Pro, was it last year now? Yeah. I mean, the gains he made in just those 2 months was absolutely astonishing. Flex Wheeler was working with him then. I think Flex Wheeler helped him with his posing this time.
Yeah.
But I mean, here's a kid that I mean, there's people saying that he could like win the 212 Olympia this year, but it's like, mate, we've got to see what he looks like. He's got to see what he looks like on stage. He's got to win this show first. But I mean, there's a guy that really could be winning this, and getting probably a very, very good. I mean, top 6 is a realistic possibility at the Olympia. And he's how old is he? He's young, isn't he? 20.
24, 25, 25 at the most.
Yeah, and I spoke to him, and he seems to have a really good on his shoulders. He seems to have a good focused attitude, and he seems to be doing everything right. Everything right in terms of his mindset and his environment and the people he's associating with and the way he's progressing. And he's just like Joey reminds me when he does a frontal bicep. He reminds me of those the trophies you get.
Yes.
The cartoon character trophies. Everything's just perfect.
I want to pull one. I have some around, but I'm too short. My arms are too short to reach one. I was gonna say, hey, it looks like this guy, but yeah. So he's everyone's predicting he's just gonna walk away with this show. It's gonna be one of those blowouts, but he does have some good competition. Jason Lowe, who you just saw on Global recently, IFBB Broku on Instagram. This kid was second to Bo Lewis. I call him a kid because he's still in his 20s. Second to Bo Lewis at the New York Pro. And he looked phenomenal. He was a classic guy up until last year's Olympia. He was still in classic physique. He moved up to 212 for this year, and great shape kid. The kid comes in shredded. I'm excited to see him go up against Keon.
Do you know what I like about Jason?
Comic books? No.
Usually something like that.
Yeah.
He looks great. He looks good on Instagram, but he looks even better when he's on stage.
Okay.
And that's usually 9 times out of 10 nowadays. It's the other way around. They look amazing on Instagram and on the stage. But I mean, I honestly, because he was tagging us all into Global Muscle and all the MD and all the pictures, and I was like, yeah, he's good. He's he's moved up from classic. I'm aware of him, but he wasn't really grabbing my attention. And then when I saw the pictures that you were taking, which were coming through on the group chat, for MD for the live play-by-play,
right.
I was like, shit, this guy's physique translates so well to the stage. I mean, it was very, very close between him and Bo was in the shape of his life. I thought he looked. Yeah. So I'll be very, very shocked if he's not in top 3. And I think he could push Keon. I really do, because he's very complete. His side shots, his side tricep, his side chest, his quarter turn, he's very aesthetic. He's got no body parts missing, and he's going to only be better than he was because, like I said, he's been on prep that little bit longer. So I'm expecting him to really, really be. I expect it to really come down to the wire between him and Keon.
But wait, there's more. I interviewed a guy named Austin Carr today. He's trained by Justin Miller, who's George Peterson's coach, coached a lot of people. Okay. I really barely remembered him, even though he took 4th place in Tampa last year as a 212. It was weird because he reminded me the last time I'd seen him on stage before that was at the USA that Lunsford won, and he was in Classic. And this guy has only done 5 contests ever. That includes 3 amateur shows and 2 pro shows. That's all he's done. But if you check him out, it's Carr, Karr. My goodness, this kid he's 37. He's not a kid, but tremendous physique. The shape, he's not missing anything. Structure, condition, the legs on him are phenomenal. That's my dark horse. If anyone's going to beat Keon, and this is no disrespect, Jason, don't get mad at me. Jason knows I love him. I think Austin's got a really good chance of taking this show based on what I'm seeing. Yeah.
So what sort of physique has he got? Is it aesthetic or hardcore, or who would you liken him to if you were going to try and describe him?
Oh, jeez. The front double, I want to say like a Leveroni, but that's a little ridiculous. He's not that big. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Just very, very. The shape is just okay. How about the front double bicep? You know how Steve Lorius looks in that shot?
Yes.
So a little more compact because Lorius is a taller guy. The limbs are a little longer. Very similar. Okay. Just flaring quads, peaked biceps, crazy V taper, and I mean, I haven't been this surprised at someone going into a show. Usually, if I haven't heard of them, they're probably not going to do that well, just statistically. But this guy, I've heard of him a little bit, but now I'm going to be really paying attention when the 212 comes out to see how he stacks up against Keon and Jason. And there's a couple other guys too that are very good. Kevin Johnson, who goes by One Man's Talent on Instagram.
Very good.
Front lat spread looks like Lee Haney back in the day. He's very good. Noel Adame, the gentleman, I think he's from Texas. He's won a couple shows, and he's
second in New York last year. Sorry.
Yeah, I think he did. I think he was top third, fourth. He was up there somewhere. Yeah, he's very good too. I wouldn't, I'm not going to write any of these guys off. That's who I have for 212.
Bowler Objects is very good as well. When he nails it, I've seen him. He's been second and thirds in like big 212 shows as well. He's very good.
That's true. New York Pro, he was just off. He anybody can get beat if they're off. And, he's had 5 more weeks. We don't know the situation with a lot of these people. Sometimes I start talking to them after the show, and they said, "Oh yeah, I had no gym for 4 months, and this and that, and I lost my job." And I'm like, "Oh my God, why are you even here?" That's a 2020 situation. A lot of people with things they never dealt with before. So Classic has 24 guys in it as of now. I still think there's going to be more people jumping into the show.
Yeah.
So some names that I recognize: Kevin Ford, who I've seen a few times. He's done very well. Vladimir Sizov. Russian immigrant in Las Vegas, former Classic physique guy, great shape. Amit Roy, who Justin Miller trains out of New York, originally from India. Great physique on him. And my pick, my dark horse to win this, not just because he goes to my gym, but because he's got a tremendous physique. 4th place at the Arnold Classic, Abner Logan.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Cool guy.
So he's a taller guy. He's about 6 foot or 6'1", big frame. And, I tend to think Classic, I'm not saying that they're definitely looking for taller guys now, but when you got a good tall guy in Classic like a Bumstead or a Wesley Vissers, it's just visually that much more, I don't know, breathtaking. So Abner's my pick. You've seen Abner.
Abner did the Arnold Classic, didn't he, early in the year?
He was 4th.
Yeah, he was fantastic. I thought he was really, really good. Yeah,
he's only been a pro. He hasn't been a pro that long. He was third. His pro debut, I believe, was last year in Tampa. He got 3rd.
Yeah.
Or 2nd. I think he was 2nd. No, wait a minute. Did he win?
I'm sure he won.
I think he did win. Yeah, he did win Tampa. He won. Because I remember going back to the airport and he was trying to get the sword through the security. He did win Tampa last year. Yes. Sorry.
Oh, well, okay. So, yeah, he's great.
Men's physique, 46. Whew, they just need 4 more to get to an even 50. Come on, guys. You can do it. Didn't recognize a ton of names. I keep mentioning Anthony Gilchrist from New York because that name stands out to me. He got a good call out of New York Pro. And another guy from my gym, Chidube Anene, Dube Digital. I'm always giving shout outs to people from my gym. He looks really good right now. Women's bodybuilding, a few of the names I recognize, but the one that I see I know she's done very well at a lot of shows is Ann Sheehan. So that's probably my pick if I had to make any kind of prediction. Bikini, there's no one from Brazil, so it's an open show. Anybody could win bikini now. Did you get that? That was a good joke. It went right over your head. Bikini. I said there's no Brazilians.
No, but wellness is bikini, surely?
No, bikini and wellness are 2 different divisions.
Sorry, wellness is the Brazilian.
Well, they do very well in bikini as well. You got Isa Piccini, you got Attila, you got Angelica. Yeah, I mean,
good point. Very good point. I'll give you that one.
They're stacked, man. They don't seem to like women figure for some reason. You don't see too many of them in figure. But speaking of figure, 46 women in figure. My God, good Lord. Few big names that I saw. Local Boston person. I always start with the Boston people. I'm very biased. Maria Luisa Diaz. Also got Donya Jackson, who's done well in the last couple shows I've been to. And Ivana Ivusic. Ivana from Colorado. Very good.
She's looking awesome. She'll, for me, I mean, I would say she's on paper, she's probably the favorite going in. And I have seen pictures. I think I saw a picture of her today. She was with next to a guy, and she just looked. She looked fantastic. She's very consistent. Trains at from Colorado, and she trains at Phil Heath's gym.
Yeah. Armburst Pro, I believe it's But she's been up there like Arnold in the Olympia a few times and done. I want to say top 5, top 6 at a couple of those.
Yeah, she's had good placings. 4th at the Arnold and top 5. I think she's 5th, 6th at Olympia.
Fitness, I did recognize a couple names. see the routines. So I'm just going to jump to the last division we'll talk about is women's physique. You can mention someone in fitness if you see some names you want to mention.
Darina Wilson. She was on Global Muscle a few weeks ago. She took 4th at the Arnold Classic back in March. She's really cool. Also, big shout out to her dog Bubba because he had a spine operation.
Oh, her dog had a spinal operation.
Couldn't walk, and she has to carry him in like a harness. And keeping up on social media with all the people on the beach taking him for walks and stuff. So
it's a committed pet owner right there. Spinal surgery. Wow. So the last division we'll talk about is women's physique. So we got some names. Jeannie Feldman's done very well in many shows I've been to. Diana Schneidt from New York, leaner, more streamlined physique, but she's done very well. She kind of reminds me of Gal Gadot from Wonder Woman.
Okay.
Heather Grace, who I believe was a former. Yes, exactly. Come on, Gal Gadot. Heather Grace, we've seen many times. I believe Heather came from women's bodybuilding. Went to women's physique. And my pick to win the show, you had her on as one of your shout outs recently, was Olympia, is the name she goes by now, but Bian Riying. I'm sure I just murdered her name again. From China, now stranded in South Carolina, USA.
Still there?
I believe she still can't get back to China. But,
she must be able to go home, surely. Well, how is she making a living? How is she paying her rent? And I don't understand if you get stranded in the country.
You know, I'm not going to, I have no idea how people support themselves, but she's been here. I think she trains people and stuff. And, you know, she has a very loving boyfriend who's very understanding because guys hit her up constantly on her page. And I'd be annoyed if I was her man too. But, she was at New York Pro, and you could tell she started her prep very late or did a rush job on her prep because condition just was not where it should have been. Yeah. But follow her social media now, and she's had time. She's in shape. She's ready to go.
She's got like a lot of those, you know, the Orientals, the Asian types. They've got those amazing legs, amazing calves, thick quads, but they just work. It's such a shame when you don't see them in good condition. And she has, like you said, we gave her a shout out on Global Muscle, and I was looking at videos of her, I was commenting, I was like, she's got a beautiful shape, beautiful look, and I'll be excited if she comes out and she's in really good condition, and she's seems to have she's a bit of a little superstar, isn't she? Really in the making.
Well, she's hilarious. If you follow her Instagram, she's just hilarious. She's just makes all these videos and makes these witty up. She could be a stand-up comedian, I think, but. You know, there's probably some other women in there that I didn't recognize the names that are definitely going to be in first call out, have a great chance. I want to let the athletes know if I didn't mention you, it's not, you know, because I don't like you or whatever. It's just we only have a limited amount of time. We've already been doing this for a little over half hour. But, you know, I'm on the lookout. When I'm doing play-by-play at the show, I call it like I see it. I don't play favorites. If someone comes out, I don't care if I've never heard of you in my life. If you look great, I'm going to tell everyone this person looks awesome. And vice versa. Somebody could be my best friend. If they get up there looking like dog crap, I'm going to say, so-and-so looks like dog crap today. I'm sorry. You know, we got to call it like we see it. That's our job.
Well, you say what you see, isn't it? Say what you see.
Yeah. So I'll be there with Hector. Hector's got an assistant with him. And we're going to crank it out, man. We're going to crank it out. It starts Friday morning. Guys, Friday morning and evening, Saturday morning and evening, we'll be there all day. It starts at 9 a.m. Friday. Finals Friday are at 4. Saturday, and that's going to be Friday. We're doing women's physique, men's physique, classic physique, figure, and 212. So that's all done after Friday. And then Saturday, we come in at 11 for judging for fitness, women's bodybuilding, bikini, and open bodybuilding. And the finals for that at 4 p.m. And, of course, they're doing a huge NPC show along with it, as all Tim Gardner shows do. So it's going to be a busy weekend down there in Atlanta. Yeah.
Good. Well, I'm jealous, mate. I'm jealous. I'd love to be there with you. But
save it all. Save it all for the Olympia, Giles. Save it all. Well, you're probably going to Romania, right? Most likely.
I believe so. Yeah, I think we're down to do that one. I really want to go because I went to Romania for something else last year, and I loved the place. And it's a place I really want to go back to. And I like Tim Gardner shows anyway. I think they're fantastically run shows. And I kind of promised last year I would go, and I've heard only good things about the Romania show, like all Tim Gardner shows.
Yeah, and there's of course a British Grand Prix. You better be going to that. My God.
Of course.
It's in your backyard. Literally, well, not literally your backyard, but how
It's in
far
my
that is it in
garden.
London? Is it in London, that show?
Yes, yes.
Okay. What are you like? 4 hours drive away?
Yeah, about that. 4 hours.
Was it on? Were they all called? All the highways are called M1, M2, M3. Yeah.
Yeah, M roads and A roads.
I know back in the day you had BBC One and Two, and no, that's all that. That's all the old days. I
Still
watched
got them.
too much Monty Python and Benny Hill. Anyway, yeah,
We
that's
do
it.
have
That's
other
huh?
TV. Yeah, we do have other TV shows.
Oh, I know you do. You have great shows. Yeah, I've been watching. BBC America. We get that on as part of my cable package. I check out a lot of the stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Killing Eve. That's my favorite BBC production.
I've watched one episode, but I've not watched the whole series. But it's very, very popular. Very
Oh, it's
popular.
great. You got to check that out. Great show. Well, that's it, Giles. I thank you for again lending us your expertise, commentary, and yeah, all you guys, please join us on the play-by-play. It's going to be on musculardevelopment.com. We'll be putting up tons and tons of videos right here on the YouTube channel. Please check that out. You know, we try to do our best to make it so that if you can't get to the show, we're going to make you feel like you're at the show. That is always my goal. So we're going to crank it out for you guys. Crank out the content. That's it, man.
Also, we hit a record with Global Muscle this week. Record number of guests. Nearly had a nervous breakdown putting it together, and we've added as well as the other 2 segments we've added. And also, there's rumors there might be a spin-off Global Muscle show coming very soon to MD.
What? A spin-off? Oh, this is crazy. Now,
you'll find out very soon.
you can't just drop stuff like that on me and not give me more info. Damn it. Bastard. Okay, well, I mean that's good news because Global is a great show. If it's anything like Global, it's gonna be a very, very welcome addition. Yeah, okay. Yep. I'll wait and see. I'll have to wait.
Call it Mini Global 2.
Okay, gotcha. All right. Well, Giles, thank you so much. Thanks everybody for watching. This has been the Chicago Pro Preview. Please join us Friday and Saturday on musculardevelopment.com and check out the Muscular Development YouTube channel here. Tons and tons of content from the Chicago Pro. Last chance for all the athletes to qualify for the 2020 Olympia. Thanks for watching. We'll see you there.